In today's video, we'll continue our conversation with the panel of the Supreme Council of the House of Jacob, Unindoctrinated. So strap in, put your helmet on, let's go. Well, hello, ex-church community, and to all of you who took time out of your busy day to watch this video. Thank you. I appreciate your curiosity, and I hope everyone is doing well. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Ray, the Ex-HOJ, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Glad to have you. Well, I'm happy to have some of my brothers and sisters back with me again to continue our discussion. So let's jump right into it and let's welcome the panel of the Supreme Council of the House of Jacob, Unindoctrinated. Well, hello everybody. How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Good.
Doing good.
Good.
Well, y'all, I had quite a few responses from the last video that we did, and people wanted to hear more about the questions that we asked and the answers that y'all gave. And so one of the things, unfortunately, we don't have Charles with us here tonight, and one of the questions that they really had inquiries about was the question about the elevations. And so we're going to jump into that. I know Charles, he said in his answer, because I asked each of you about the elevations, what your thoughts were. And Charles said that his answer was that he felt like the elevations were done to retain the membership, to keep people that were on the borderline from leaving. And he also said that he felt like it was about the money. And that was his answer. So let's dive into that a little bit. I mean, anybody got any thoughts on what he said as far as retaining the membership?
I think it's because you're seeing it in other places too, like Church of the Living God, Ground Pillar of Truth
The
and stuff.
pillar and ground,
They
the church, you
yeah,
said the church of the living God, the
Living
pillar
God,
and ground of truth.
Ground of Truth. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did a lot of elevations during their convocation too. Their holy day or whatever you want to call it.
Mm.
But I think there's somewhat of a shift taking place and I know you had said in the last one what direction is it going in. And I was listening to one minister and he was saying they're shifting from holiness to wholeness, WHOLENESS, and
Mm.
saying that they're not trying to judge people anymore and stuff, and in some places you can see this shift. Now, if is it too late? I don't know
Mm.
and stuff. But I'm seeing this in a lot of places, this shift where, they're trying to change to
Mm.
retain members or get the ones back that used to belong.
All right. All right. So, and then Nate, I know you said in your comment, you said that it was evening the playing field.
Yeah, to me, it seemed like even the playing field and a little lightweight distraction because you have a lot of people that's wanting that
Right.
and carrying on, and you know how some people abuse it. But now, if everybody got rank, what true power or right do you have to even say something to somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
Try to belittle them or make them, or I'm over you because where I come from, that's what one of the things they always got on me about.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing rocks over my head. I don't believe it. I don't. No, ain't no throwing rocks over the head because if it's wrong, it's wrong. I
Right.
don't care from the youngest to the oldest. And if you give everybody elevations, and I even heard it said, that doesn't make you any better than anybody else because the elevation's a gift.
Right.
It's just a gift. It's everybody, all y'all want it here. Take it.
Mm.
What you gonna do with it?
Right. Yeah.
You know, you got it now. This is what
Mm.
you wanted. Is it changing you? Is it making you worse? Are you abusing? What you gonna do with it? And
Right.
that's also gonna display a lot of power worshipers. I would call them
Hmm.
power worshipers. Because some people want that so-called power, not realizing that that's not power. That ain't where the power is at.
Hmm.
The power is actually standing for what's right. To
Right.
represent you a church. You supposed to be helping people.
Hmm.
Supposed to be abusing what was given to you and all
Hmm.
that. And I want to see where it's gonna go because, like I said, it's strange because there was some elevation. I'm like, God, and I'll be honest with you, I told quite a few. I'm glad I wasn't back there because that's something. No, you walk up and talk about here. I want to elevate. No, 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 no. What I got to do to change your mind? Do I got to rub it down aisle cussing and carrying on what I got to do? Because nah, it ain't. It ain't that type of party.
Right.
But
Right.
to me, it's what everybody got it. What you gonna do with it? Some of them I
Hmm.
see still acting the same way.
Right. Now let me ask you, Ann, because you said that they got all of these ministers, and what are they going to do with them? Are they going to preach to each other, or what exactly are they going to do? So expand your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's like, what is the plan? What is the vision? And these ministers are ordained. So everybody not only being elevated, being ordained. What is the plan,
Hmm.
for everybody to sit there and call each other advanced side elder, senior mother, advanced senior mother? Is that all it's gonna be?
Right. So I mean,
you know, and 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 saying nothing. The church is not a higher place of learning.
right.
So it's just going to be the same old, except, everybody has a title now.
Now, do y'all feel like the elevations were inspired by the Holy Spirit, or do y'all feel like they're, as Charles said, he felt like it was a way to retain the members. So do you feel as though it was something led by the Spirit, or was it a strategic move by leadership?
I think it was a strategic move by leadership. I,
Mhm.
I don't think it was inspired by the Spirit or Holy Spirit. I just think it was to keep. They want to. It seems like they want to reignite some energy.
All right.
Get the folks
Okay.
excited. You
Okay.
want, that's a way to get folks excited. Everybody's getting elevation, and everybody da 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 da. They speaking in spirit, speaking in the tongue and dancing and getting all happy and everything. So that's raising the level of energy. So
But, but
that's kind of
it's motivating them to do what? I mean, are they gonna actually get out there and actively missionary or what?
no, no, no. I don't see that happening.
Hmm.
Zalika, Nate, what
Well,
y'all got to say?
the thing about you have so many people that have done the research and they know it's not real. So that's going to be a task. You know what I'm saying? And especially amongst young people that have never been members or people that have never been members that have done the research.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And the people that are who are aware that it's not real. It's all man-made. You know,
Mhm.
so when you say get out and do the work, if the work is done, it's going to basically be done amongst the ones that were already members.
Well,
And
yeah,
does
I mean,
does that make any sense? Does that even make any sense? But
Mm,
you know, when you think about it.
what
What
you
to
say,
go?
Nate?
man, again, I heard of some elevations, and
But-
I like to pass out my damn self. I was like, who? And I'm really trying to figure out because, yeah, okay, God forgives and all that, but I'm gonna use what they taught us.
Mhm.
The word was, yeah, he forgive, but ceased from doing evil.
Right.
Now, if I'm a hoe and God
I
forgave
didn't
me,
say hoe.
and I go
Oh,
back and be a hoe
man can
again,
be a hoe too. Okay.
that that's a behavior. I'm just a hoe. So now you done
Okay.
gave me license to be a hoe.
Oh, okay. Explain that again, Nate.
I said, if I'm a hoe and God forgive me and you elevate me, you need to make sure I'm not a hoe no more because I can still be a hoe.
This
I'm
is
just a
true.
hoe with license.
This is true. Hey.
And as
And,
a man,
and
and I'm gonna tell you, as a man, you give men and women, you give them power, they gonna abuse that.
Mm.
Oh, my sister, come over here, let me pray for you. You know I'm such and such and such and such. Now, it's a dangerous game they playing because I don't care what nobody say. Look, I told y'all before, I'm God's ass.
Mm.
I say what others ain't willing to say.
Right.
There's a lot of pedophiles, rapists, womanizers, male, all that's in there. And you giving them license?
Mm.
Mm. But
Well.
you know what? I had said that to someone. You know, it's only so many cute little band-aids you could put on a wound. The unhealed wound is still under there, and you have not addressed it.
You have
Okay.
not addressed it.
And
And that's what
after,
I said before. It's
hmm
a distraction.
hmm
Because here, take this, forget about what was said and how things was set up and how they was done and all that. Forget about that. Here, again, they moving like America.
Mm-hmm.
They moving just like everybody else
Mm.
hmm
and don't even realize. Yeah, they may realize it, some may, but don't understand that that's how they're doing.
Right.
You know, I believe, but I don't believe God pick and choose the way they pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
Because me myself, I don't care. I don't believe God care who you sleep with, long as it ain't a child,
Right.
right, right.
male, female. That long as it ain't a child. Some people say, "Well, how you gonna be fruitful and multiply?" Everybody don't want to have kids,
Mm-hmm. Right.
and everybody can't. So to me, all this you everybody popping up as men, like I said, because I done heard of some, and I'm like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some talking about, well, if you was here, and I told them point blank, if they elevate me, and I know they've been on my Facebook page, if you elevate me, I know something ain't right. I know something ain't right. Because I ain't walking and talking the way y'all want me to walk and talk, and I'm not going to.
Right.
What did this say? You can kick rocks. Because
Well.
you taught me this is how God made me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's something ain't right.
hmm
Well. Well. Do you think they? Well, let me ask this question. Let me ask it like this. So, do you think that it's part of a psychology or, and I don't want to call it a mind game, but you do have to use a certain amount of psychology, you know, in
Now,
leading
but
people.
let me ask you, why wouldn't you want to call it a mind game if that's what it is?
Well, I mean, because I don't know for sure. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is say what I perceive or my perception of it.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
so what I would ask is it, do you think it's psychology being used to help make the people rise to the occasion? You give them the elevation and try to make them rise to that level.
Okay, let me just back up a little bit to what you said, because to me, I don't know if they're doing it now and
Mm,
stuff, but to me, this is how I felt. It was psychological manipulative wordplay. Okay, because when I look at the end of what is it, a ritual, that ritual where they hand out the license, if you go down, uphold this church, and I've asked a lot of people, is that in their bylaw books? Is that, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
How can you ask someone to uphold something if they've been harmed? You know, that's psychological abuse to me. To even
mm.
expect somebody to uphold anything that they've been harmed in.
True.
So to me, to a certain extent, you know, yeah, yeah, some of it is psychological manipulative wordplay, and that's all it is.
Mm,
but now if you look at the what they teach, period, and that's my problem.
mm,
How you gonna tell me I can do all things through Christ, but when I got ready to move out here, you leaving God? So you telling me He ain't gonna take care of me out there? So what she's saying is true. It's a mind game because where I come from, that's all they played was mind game, and their problem with me is that I've been playing them from birth.
mm.
This is how He made me.
Right.
So since you want to play it, I'm gonna play it back with you. But see, I'm gonna use the truth because what you taught me, you ain't lining up with.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, a
So
mind game and control, definitely control. If you're losing control, I mean, given the elevations, people, I mean, the folks are going to start trying to do better if
mm.
if whatever that may mean. So I think it's a control thing too. Like you said, a mind game, but also
You
a control.
froze, and
Oh,
wait a minute, you froze. So you
it's
got to say that
I
again.
was I'm just saying not only a mind game, but it's all about control. You're giving elevations,
Uh,
and the whole it's all of it: control, psychological, mind game, however you want to say it.
mm,
Folks will try to start doing better at
you,
whatever that may
now,
mean.
I was getting ready to say, but do you actually think so? Because now there's been some with this elevation and stuff from back then up until now. They ain't did no
Mm-hmm.
better.
Yeah, and I'm talking about with the new group of elevations since he has became the head, well, the leader. Uh, I'm talking about since that time, and
wait a
Okay,
this
minute,
is
you
what it's been leader for how
wait,
long?
hold on a second. You froze up again, and so I
How
didn't hear
long?
the last
How?
part of what you
Yeah.
said.
I, okay. I was just saying since he has became leader, I was talking about the elevation since he's became leader that he's been giving out since he been leader.
okay.
Mm,
That some of those, I think the expectation is they will start trying to do better. Whether do better in paying tithes, do better in their church. It's just the simple stuff. Church, attending your church service, running up and down the highway to everything.
mm.
So I think he's looking for folks to, and it seems like they're doing that.
Well, I mean,
Every
so
time there's something there, everybody's in the road.
well, I mean, are you suggesting that that's something that a lot of them need? They need the titles and the elevations to, you know, be productive.
Motivate them.
Yeah, to motivate them to be
Motivate.
productive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But now being a recovering alcoholic and addict, I feel, and I may be wrong because this is Nateism, this is the way Nate thinks.
All right.
If I need something like that to make me be a good person, then I'm not a good person. It's an act. It's an act
Gotcha.
that's only gonna last for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and then the real you gonna come out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Always.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah. I agree with that, Nate.
Mhm.
Because I
Yeah.
mean, and again, I'm not passing judgment on nobody,
Mhm.
but some of them elevations, I was like, oh my God, what? I'm gonna be honest, I'm like, oh my God, what the hell are they doing? That's just what I said.
Well,
What the
now,
hell are they doing? Because, and again, and I know y'all done seen my Facebook page. I know things people don't want me to know.
right.
I
Yeah.
think we all know something that folks don't want us to know.
Yeah, but see, and I'm also a person, I can read your energy because I got a lot of demons in here
Mhm.
and I learned to
Mm-hmm.
control them. And when they get around somebody who just, they want to act up because they know they're in the presence of
Right.
someone that is like them.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people abuse that power too much. I'm this now. You got to do no.
Mhm.
No. They're moving funny to me, and in moving funny, they tried to get me to come to Omaha,
Mhm.
and I had thought about it. Then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna say it the way the spirit say. If you go, they're gonna try to get you.
Mhm.
Mm.
Right.
They're gonna try to hand you something. I don't want to. I don't want that gamble because again, when I was younger, I didn't know any better. I wanted it. I pushed for it.
Mhm.
Now, no, 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 no. That's with great power comes great responsibility.
Mhm. Right.
You have a license. That means them souls you come in contact with,
Mhm.
your problem if you don't do them right.
Right.
Mm.
Don't teach them right.
Mhm.
If you don't treat them right, that's your problem.
Right.
And I'm not. Nah. And again, I ain't got nothing against the church.
Mhm.
I believe in a
Mm-mm.
lot of what they stand for. I just don't believe in some of the teachers and how they teach it. I don't believe in them because I see what you would do. I heard
Right.
what you would say.
Mhm.
And to me, it ain't got nothing to do with God.
Mhm. Yeah. Now let me just say this or ask this. Let me just ask this. Now we having these conversations, having these conversations. Do y'all feel like we bashing the church?
No.
I don't. I don't. But a lot of
No.
people do. A lot of people do and stuff when you, like I said once before, when you um, share your experience or whatever word you want to use, voice your
Mhm.
opinion and stuff, then they think that you're bashing. But a lot of people are sitting in there having the same thoughts. They probably just not saying anything, and
And
not
the
just
and
yeah,
the same conversations. That's
yes, and
what I'm
not just
saying.
in but not just in the
Go ahead.
HOJ, other places too that
Everywhere.
I've listened to and stuff, and they're saying the same thing. People think they crazy or they're bashing and stuff, just because they're voicing their opinion.
Hmm. Yeah.
Now,
Well, now
hey,
here's the thing I was going to say about that because now Zalika, you and I are no longer members, but now if we were all still members in the church, we would be having these conversations after church. And
Mm-hmm.
didn't we have them?
Yes.
We had these
Yes,
same
we
kind of
did. Yes, we
conversations
did.
after church. Nate, didn't you have
Mm-hmm.
them after church sometime?
Yeah.
listen, I had these conversations doing testimony.
Oh, do
Oh.
it.
So
Yeah, yeah.
it is. And what she was saying to me, that's not God, because now you're stripping away my free will.
Mm-hmm.
Now you actually moving like a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I can't get up and express what's going on and how I feel about something that's wrong, and you telling me to hush and be quiet,
Mm-hmm,
yeah,
mm-hmm,
I'm gonna say what makes him any different than the white man?
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You're just a person
mm-hmm.
of color, and you telling me to sit down, shut up, and don't be spilling and talk about what's wrong. No, no, you got the wrong one.
Right.
Yeah, they got too many skeletons in the closet to try to shut somebody up that want to to say something. If you stand up and speak truth, and that takes a lot of courage. And a lot of folks don't have that courage to stand up and speak truth. Of things that go on or have went on and could still be going on, or you have folks that are in positions that have done things they shouldn't be in those positions right today. They shouldn't
No,
be in those positions.
now
Well,
let me
let me
ask.
go ahead. Go ahead, Nate.
No, I just want to ask then. So, and I hear what you're saying.
Mm.
So why get up and tell me and make me sing that damn song, "Show House of Jacob their sins"?
Yeah,
There you
as
go.
obvious they don't believe it. They don't believe that.
So they
Mm.
need to quit. They need to quit singing it then and quit teaching it.
Yeah,
If you don't
yeah,
want it
they
done,
don't believe that.
stop singing it and stop teaching it.
Yeah,
Mm.
Because this is all this stuff they taught me.
Right.
You taught me. You drilled this into me from birth to 58.
Mm.
And now I'm standing on business that you taught me, and now there's a problem? No.
Mm.
No.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Well, I mean, let me ask y'all this. Did y'all talk to anybody after we did the video? Did y'all have any conversations with anybody after it? I'm just asking because I know I had conversations, and if you talked, I mean, you don't have to tell who you talked to, but I'm just wondering if you had any conversations with people after the video that we did, and what were some of their remarks? Because, like I said, a lot of them that I talked to, and I'll say I probably talked to about 5 or 6 people on the phone, but I had a lot of inbox comments, a lot of them basically resonating with what y'all said, because I was basically just a moderator, uh, letting y'all comment or give y'all answers to the questions. But a lot of them resonated with what y'all said. So that's why I was asking, did y'all have any conversations with anybody else? And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you did?
Yeah.
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 The elevation did not influence them to continue or to even start back paying tithes. No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so you talked to somebody that got an elevation
Some folks, yeah.
and they,
I'm gonna put plural on that.
you gonna what?
But yeah, make it plural. I'm gonna say
Plural.
folks,
Some folks. You
but
talked
it
to
did
some
not
folks.
to start back paying tithes and influence that at all.
Hmm. All right.
Well, I ain't talked to no one. You know it, Ray. You know ain't nobody gonna talk to me.
They should.
Man, I
Well,
talked to you.
you do.
I
Well, see,
talked to
yeah,
you.
you do. All the real ones, but they're not gonna call me with that because a lot of them don't want to hear what I have to say. They
All
don't
right.
like what I have to say.
Mm.
They already stressed that.
Yeah,
That's all right.
yeah.
That's your right. But
Mhm.
Jesus made me just what I am.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Zulika, you said you talked to?
Yeah, yeah. People reached out and stuff, and was saying that, they were glad that people aren't that, we have some that are not afraid to talk about it and to address it. And anybody that I have ever, even before, I got on that first video and stuff, anybody that has ever reached out to me, I've never tried to talk anybody out of talk them into leaving the church, or none of that and
Right.
stuff, because when people would share stuff with me, I would say, it's somebody that you can talk to. You just have to find the person that you can talk to and stuff, somebody that's not going to shut you down, that's going to listen to you, that's not going to be judgmental. And I said this to several people. I know that they have professionals in there. Okay, let me say this. I am not downplaying your credentials, as far as your profession outside of there. But if you cannot separate your profession from the organization, then you shouldn't be talking to people, because that's a conflict of interest if you can't separate the two, because they are still protected by the Privacy Act and the HIPAA law as well. And so if I come to you, like we had a bishop that said, you need to know how to step out of that suit and that tie and that kata and be able to talk to people. People don't always need a sermon. So if I'm coming to you to talk to you, then I need to know I'm coming to therapist Ann, not just, a mother. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I mean when I say you got to know how to separate those two. And if you can't, then you should be talking to people. You shouldn't.
But now, what you said is true. But my issue with that, as a mother, as an elder, you should be God enough to respect the truth. And if you don't know, look into it honestly. Don't shut it down. Don't push them aside, because to me, that's not God.
Now, see, in that, and yeah, I get what you're saying as far as that, but I'm saying if you hold a
No, I agree with you.
license, yeah,
I agree
as
with
far
you
as
100. I
yeah,
agree
as
with
far
you
as
100.
yeah,
But I feel
as,
the minister should be held to the same degree.
No,
They should be
I
held
don't know. I
to
don't know.
the same degree.
They should be, but they're not.
No, and you're
And
right.
we've all
And you're right.
we've
They
all had
should be.
experiences. We've
And you
all
can,
had experiences.
yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right
Yeah,
in my
where
eyes, and that's one of the biggest issues I have, because they're not
yeah,
held to that degree. And you
but they're
should be.
not qualified. They're not qualified either.
Okay, got you. Yes.
They're not qualified. I do, anytime, when you see a preacher or the pastor or whatever getting up, and I'm not talking about anything recent, but coming up in church and stuff. And when the pastor gets to talking, and they're talking about you, because I did go and ask the pastor, that's something you should have came to me and talked about. I don't need to hear it over the roster.
oh yeah, yeah.
Look,
Yeah, but
look,
yeah, yeah. And I know you probably have done the same thing, haven't you, Nate?
girl, look, I'm sitting on the front seat with the guitar in my hand, getting bashed over the head, and everybody in the
See?
church knew he was talking about me, because some of them took notes on how many times he talked about me and my family. And he did
Oh,
it to
wow.
the point. He did it to the point to where afterwards, for testimony, I get up and I would say what I had to say. And we went like that for so long till he actually just stopped having testimony after the sermon. But I had a
And see,
mother, I
yeah,
had a mother tell me that she marked in her book every time he talked about me and my family.
Wow.
yeah. And that's something that has happened. I've seen it. I mean, I was a child coming up, but I had went to Arizona and stayed a month. Seen it down there. You see it everywhere. They would get up and talk, and they're talking about you or somebody else. And it's not fair that you get up there and talk about folks. Like you said, everybody knows who they're talking about. And that's not fair, because you don't have a chance to sit there and defend yourself, to get up. If the pastor or the person that's up talking got a problem, that should be a private issue between you and that person. Yeah.
But you
So
even
I
have
hope
some,
they're not still doing that.
but you even have some that would talk to you in private and still get up
He'll get up and do
and try
it.
to, you
So
know what I'm saying?
that's
And
what,
still try to,
they're not
and,
they're not qualified. Yeah.
yeah.
They
And
don't
you
know
knew,
nothing about
you knew.
confidentiality.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
thing. The
Yeah.
confidentiality. And that's the reason
Yeah.
why a lot of people won't. Let me say this. There's a percentage of people that won't go and talk to anyone because of the confidentiality. With
Yeah.
some,
No,
there is no
yeah,
confidentiality whatsoever, none whatsoever.
there is no way I would go confide in a pastor. No way, because at first I qualified. I know they don't know nothing about confidentiality. I grew up in a workplace. I mean, I worked in a workplace. Where's confidentiality? So, somebody tell you something in
Mhm.
confidence, you
Right.
don't get up and preach about it. Or next thing you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's coming back to you that, oh, well, I heard so. No, they're not qualified
Mhm.
when
Mm-hmm.
they get up and do that. They need to go and sit down. I'm just, yeah. You don't need to be up there. You need to go and sit down.
I agree with that part, but the qualified part, that doesn't require qualification. It requires some ethics because you don't need qualification to respect someone because,
Right.
like I say, they would even come to my house. I, I got preached on for
Mm.
having a 60-some-inch TV.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe it.
Don't know what I paid. Didn't know what I paid for it. Don't know how I got it. But me and my family got preached on for that.
Yeah. Mm.
Every little thing we did, we was a target. And now, I mean, okay, I got to the point where, all right, I see you ain't got nothing else to preach about. So since you want to talk about me, I see you think about me that much. Do your thing. But I'm going to say something afterwards.
Right.
See, that's my biggest
Yeah.
thing. Some
And
people get power and
mhm.
they abuse it.
Mhm.
And when they get it, it's you
Yeah.
become the have and have nots. Well, I like you
Mhm.
and your family, so I ain't gonna say that about y'all. But
Yeah.
it's
Now,
being
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, sir, no, sir, because I'm not gonna take over your stuff like that.
No, no,
Because
no. No, you could.
look, man,
Good.
I can run my mouth about this all forever because
Well,
it's
yeah, yeah, we could.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
But
But
ridiculous.
again,
uh,
like I said in the other one, in the last video, I thought they were moving from, you know what I'm saying? And it was more so like love and you know what I'm saying, just working with people. And let me just say this, when I say the shift, now I don't know about the HOJ, but I have visited other churches, where I'm at and everything. And one, they had like a friends and family day tailgate, and you could
mm,
wear your blue jeans and your favorite tennis shoes and stuff, and the minister was saying how that, we need what they do need to become a community and really, helping people and
mm,
stuff. And then I went to a banquet for the NAACP, and I shared that with Ray and Ann. I got to give it to this minister. I mean, he delivered that message. He really did deliver it and stuff. And he was saying, it's time out for you to stop turning your nose up at people and start helping people. He said, ain't can't nobody rob Peter to pay Paul no more because Peter ain't got it and
mm,
stuff. He said we need to band
Mm.
together and stuff. And I mean, look, that he preached, he delivered that sermon. He did and stuff. And I really did enjoy it and stuff. And just the the atmosphere here, you can really see the shift that
mm,
the direction that they're trying to go into and stuff, as far as like getting away from that. Like the one said, there's a shift from holiness to wholeness, where
mhm.
they're really addressing the issues.
Well,
Now
I
Mm.
that's
mean,
in other places.
well, we have yet to see if that's the
Yeah.
case in the
Yeah.
church,
Oh,
in the Supreme
okay.
Council of the House of Jacob.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I know none of us attend. That well, and you do God every now and then.
I go when the spirit hit me.
When the Spirit hits you, all right. When it had you speaking in tongues, then it's
They
time.
have me speaking. I'm going to church.
Wait a minute.
You gonna edit that out?
I don't know.
Okay. No.
No.
Yeah, that's fine.
But so let me get back on topic here because they did, the people that I talked to, they had specific things that they wanted to hear more about. So Now, Nate, you had began to talk about that they were moving like America when I asked the question about,
No.
the different things that they've changed, and now that they got the 4 senior bishops and the 2 senior superior mothers, and I asked what was their function, and like I said, you said that they were moving like America. It's a distraction, and you don't feel that these positions would be helpful to the church, or I mean, I know that we don't know much about them because
I'll be
we
honest with you. I see more chaos because now I see a lot of chiefs and no Indians.
you see a lot of chiefs and no Indians.
No Indians.
All right.
So now it'll be a lot of that. You can't tell me what to do because I got a license too. Who you
Mm-hmm.
think you talking to? It's
Mm-hmm.
coming. It's coming.
You get, like, I was saying, that is an organizational structure
Mm-hmm.
that he has set up. You got your senior executive level executives, you got your executives, then you have your officials. So the senior executives, they're probably responsible for a region. And if it's set up the way I'm thinking, even with the senior bishop, we'll take a senior bishop.
Mm-hmm.
A bishop can report to a senior bishop because the senior bishop is a higher level
Mm-hmm.
in the organizational structure. And then whoever reports to the bishop and all that. So, that's the way I see it. I don't necessarily, I think it's trying to take out the chaos. But if folks don't understand the structure, they'll probably eventually learn. You can't just call the head like that. You can't just pick up the phone, skip everybody if you got an issue, and call the person at the top. You got to go to your pastor.
But now
Yeah,
I hear what you said, but what I was talking about is you got all these also junior ministers. Everybody's more or less is on the
the
same
junior
playing field.
ministers. Well, they all got a pecking order. That they all have a pecking order.
Yeah, they you got a lot of, and I see in here, you know, who you talking to. I hold a license too.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest, we talking about, us.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how a lot of some of us roll. You make us mad, you gonna get them words. It is he was getting some of them was getting them before they even got the license.
Right.
Mm.
So now this ain't gonna do them to me, gonna make them more cockier.
They definitely have a pecking order. I hear what you're saying, Nate, but what do y'all think,
Well,
Zalika and
can y'all
Frank?
hear
Don't you
me?
think they have a pecking?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, now they've always had a pecking order. It's always been a pecking order, but at the same time, like Nate said, you have the people that don't really care about the pecking order. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if you give them an elevation, now they feel like I really don't have to pay attention to you. We the same rank, or even if you are just a rank above me, you ain't that far ahead of me, so I don't really have to pay attention to you. And really, the ranks, excuse me, and really for some people, the ranks don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because for
yeah,
me, I never got into the ranks and all that stuff. Elevations
yeah.
didn't mean anything to me simply because, like I said, I am who I am with or without a title. So I don't need a title to
Right.
be who I am. Now some people may need it. They may need that motivation. They may need that title to make them feel a little bit better about themselves. But see, that's something I've never needed. So
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Good
uh,
point. Yeah.
whether it's gonna benefit or be a liability to them. I mean, that's yet to be seen. But like you said, and there are, oh man, it's just even right here in Pontiac. In Pontiac, now I don't know if you heard, Nate, that you know, they came a few weeks ago, and there was a lot of elevations here in Pontiac, I heard. And like you said, Ann, what are they going to do? I mean, it's just a bunch of ministers preaching to a bunch of ministers. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
And then with so many ministers in one mission, and I'm sure this is the case throughout the church, how often will you get to preach? I mean, if preaching is something that some people like to do, how often do you gonna how often do you think you're gonna get to preach with a mission full of ministers? I mean, when I was there, when I was preaching before 2008, I would probably preach maybe 2 or 3 times a year at the most, because we had a church full of ministers. Not that I wanted to preach, because I didn't. I mean,
Even
go
with
ahead.
that, you have the ones that don't want to preach. That's not their
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
So that's going to help in a way too. And I
Mhm.
don't think you should be forcing anybody or expecting somebody to preach just because they have a title, because everybody is not a preacher. Everybody is not a teacher. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
So
so
what's the
that's just not.
purpose of the elevation if you're not going to be, sometimes you'd be thinking, well, the purpose of the elevation is that you're going to be preaching.
But that's
And
not everybody's. But that's not everybody's
and I
ministry.
agree.
That's not
So,
everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
so
But
in other words, you ain't
what are
got to
they going to
complete
do?
Bible school.
I'm
Wait a minute.
sorry.
Say
So in
this.
other words, you ain't got to complete Bible school now to get a license.
No, you don't.
No.
Before I left, you had to. They wanted you to finish Bible school first. So now you had to be
uh,
given.
yeah,
That
they
was
never
before
stuck to that. Stick to
where I
that
was.
in your mission.
Where before I left,
Oh,
I've been up here 6 years. Before I left there, that was the talk. Bible school before you got elevated. And
Yeah,
which,
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard some mention it, but still, some of the ones that finished, they still couldn't preach. You
but
know,
see, that's the thing. They still
I'm
couldn't.
being real.
But
They
at
still
least,
couldn't preach.
but see, the thing about it, though, at least I feel they had some knowledge of what they were supposed to preach. But now you done give
uh,
people, when I say knowledge,
Mm,
if you went through
uh,
Bible school, you had some of their knowledge of
mm.
what they wanted
Nate,
you to
I
say.
don't know if that's
Yeah, I don't
Nate.
know
I
about
don't know if
that.
that's true.
I don't know about
I,
that
Oh,
one.
I
Nate, you're
don't
getting
know
some
if that's
pushback
true.
here, Nate.
I
Yeah,
no, no, no.
I don't know about
Wait
that
a
one
minute.
because
I
I.
said their knowledge. Their knowledge.
Yeah, but they still didn't have it. I've heard some that graduated that still didn't have their knowledge.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They study those lessons and those scriptures just to be able to pass, but they did
Yeah,
not
they
grasp.
memorized.
Yeah, they
Ah,
memorized it. They memorized it.
so I guess I was the idiot then.
No, 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 no. Oh, no,
No, I'm
no,
not
no,
saying.
no. Because I see where you're coming from. If
Yeah.
you think if you graduate from something, you're supposed to know something about
But see,
what you graduated.
in me going through Bible school and stuff like that, I studied because see, somebody made the remark, well, you just here because you believe. No, no. Because some of what you're saying makes sense to me. That's why I'm here. It ain't just because I'm not that, excuse me, Ray. You can edit out, but I'm not that motherfucker just gonna jump out the plane and think my parachute go open. Hell no. I'm not him.
No, I
Mhm.
get what you say. No, I get what you're saying because it is some that you know what I'm saying. But there are some that graduate from it and they
And
don't.
didn't even have. Okay, got you.
Yeah, they
And
do.
you can tell that they don't study or
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
because even when I was studying, that's when I started discovering more, of the truth. Even I took time to study because I wanted to understand the lesson that I was on, if I'm going to memorize 3 scriptures and 3, I want to understand
Want to
that
understand
lesson.
what they talking
Yeah.
about?
Right.
And some of them, that's what I mean when I say some of them, that's
So,
not their
so
ministry.
there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, just because you got
Yeah, and you can
that
tell. You
elevation,
can tell.
yeah, that's not their ministry. And if they know that they're not a preacher, I don't think that should be required of them. You know, I do believe that
Oh, they
everybody
were
has
given
a
a
ministry.
license.
You just need to,
With
but
that
hold on
license,
now. Hold on.
Well,
You need to find out what your ministry is. Just like we heard, remember the parable that they used about the young man that came down from Jerusalem and fell among thieves. And they said one that was, what was he, a rabbi or a priest or whatever, that looked over on him. That was his ministry. He had a look over ministry, look over on, because he knew that what that young man needed, according to the parable, he didn't have it. And then you had that other one that crossed over. That was his ministry. He had a crossover ministry. And we don't know if when he crossed over on the other side, he said, hey, is somebody laying over there that needs some help? He
yeah.
know that wasn't his ministry. But it said a certain Samaritan, not a good, but a certain Samaritan, because he had certain about himself.
Right.
He had a certain way, according to the parable, of pouring that oil in there, whether it was good words or, whatever and stuff, or natural oil. He had a certainty about himself. He knew how to do it in order to get it. But my whole thing is everybody has ministry, and preaching ain't some people's ministry.
Oh, yeah, I do agree. Preaching is not a lot of folks' forte at all whatsoever. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but you got the people that do want it. And again, what are they going to do with it? I mean,
What are you gonna do with it? You're right.
I'm just.
I mean,
It's
I
changed.
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying and stuff,
Well,
The bottom line, nothing's really changed. It's the same old, same old.
well,
That's the bottom line.
And that's the thing. So why do all that?
right.
Yeah.
Well, again, because
To make people happy. It's Christmas. I want a gift.
Get a gift. All right.
If you give somebody else a gift, I'm like, why don't I have a gift? You didn't give me a gift. So yeah, so he
no, I don't want one. I'm good.
But see, when you say gift and you saying tithes, the money, it's a gift that never comes off a layaway.
Never. Never. You paying for it forever.
Yes.
I'm all right. I'm good with that.
Yeah, this is true.
Like I said, I ain't with nowhere, and I done told them they're gonna have to kick me out. I don't.
Oh no, they're not gonna kick you out. They're not gonna kick you out. Don't worry about that.
Oh, I ain't worried about it. I'm not at all. I know I'm their problem child.
But you know what? Again, I'm not laughing.
And you're probably not the only one.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray,
but like
we
you said,
can't hear
some
Ray.
people need it. Oh, yeah. Well, you break it up.
All right, can y'all hear now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, I'm not knocking, because one of you said, some people need it. You know what I'm saying? And if that's what they need, so be it.
Yeah.
I talked to some, and they said they were elevated, but they didn't really know how to feel about it because some people, they hadn't been to church for a while, but as soon as they come, then they get elevated, and and then next thing they talking about paying tithes, they preaching about paying tithes and everything, So there were a lot of people that received them that, just don't really understand why they got them. You know what I'm saying? They were confused themselves as to why they got them.
It almost make you feel like a trap.
And I think that's the way some people. He said he thinks that it's almost like a trap. And I think some people may may have felt like that because, like I said, some of them are confused about why they got them.
But
there's
but
no,
but what's wrong with saying no? That's not
That,
being disrespectful to say
some
no.
people
nah,
did say no.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Some people actually did say no. They turned them down. But those that received them, they received them reluctantly, because they just understand why them. You know what I'm saying? Uh, they wasn't really active like that, and they wasn't really, attending service like that. So for them, that it was a little confusing. It made some of them feel a little suspicious. you
now that would be me right there. Why are you elevating me? You
mm,
know how I am. You know my mouth. So why
right,
are you giving me this?
right. So, but now I want to go back to what we were saying about the structure, because I know Charles had said that for him, he saw it as being beneficial for the church as a corporation, but he didn't feel like it would, really change anything. But and I think you also said that it keeps the head from having to deal with all the subordinates below him. They can he only
Well, the
has to deal with
yeah,
the CEO or the head will only have to deal with the senior bishops.
the
Do you
senior
want to elaborate on that?
ministers. Yeah, because a CEO of any organization or company, they never get involved with the day-to-day operations.
All right.
So I could understand how he was setting that up because he's not going to get involved with the day-to-day operations. That's not part of what the CEO does.
Mm,
So yeah, so then you got like I said, you got 4 senior bishops, 2 senior superiors, so it's 6 of them altogether.
mm,
I don't know what the seniors, that would be his. I mean, actually, that could be his board right there. That he communicates with them or whatever it is that they would
mm,
have discussion. But I don't know. I think it's going to be harder to reach and get in touch with the CEO
mm,
for the lay member, and yeah, I don't think they're going to have that. Which, from what I understand, he kind of made that kind of clear.
mm. All right.
But okay. I'm gonna say from a business perspective, and so let's say if I had a company and I had set it up like that, and I'm entrusting in you all to be able to handle, you know what I'm saying, the responsibility that I'm giving to you and to handle. I mean, then why would I need to be involved?
Mm,
And
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying? Why would I need to be involved if
exactly.
I'm trusting you to do what's right and to treat the people right and to handle, you know, the business right and fairly
mm,
and
right.
stuff? There really would be no need for me, you know what I'm saying, to a certain extent and
Right.
stuff to, be involved.
Mm,
I mean, I don't know if that's the right word to use or what and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying.
No,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the CEO of any company is involved to a certain extent. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Maybe behind the scenes, but they're still involved.
Well, yeah, but not to running the day to day. I mean, if it's like the bigger organizations, CEOs, yeah, because you've delegated that responsibility
Yeah,
out to
yeah,
your other
that's the word, delegating
executive.
it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because that's a lot of wear and tear on one person.
One person
You know,
cannot do it.
yeah, can't do
It's
that.
mm,
impossible.
Yeah.
right.
The organization
Yeah. So,
fall apart. So
well,
that's why you have your executives, senior executives, and the executives.
mm,
the only thing to me though is just whoever the CEO put in place, you got to make sure they're gonna do it correctly.
Yeah.
And if they're not gonna do it correctly, you got to handle them in a matter that should be handled when you they don't do what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We haven't seen that in the past.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're going to be seeing it now because those responsibility has been delegated. So if something's not going right, he going to his senior executives, and he
Right.
gonna bless them out. Why was this done? How come you didn't do that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that's who he gonna go. Yeah, yeah.
Well, let me ask this. So, once again, we are just having this conversation out loud that we would have normally had, together if in private, if we had been,
Mhm.
members in the church and having our discussions, and that you and I and some others used to have a
Mm-hmm.
discussion every Sunday after church.
After
We would
church.
go to
Yeah.
Tim Hortons and have our discussions, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't complaining. We were just voicing our opinions and our thoughts on whatever it was that was going on. Uh,
Absolutely.
so just so that our viewing audience don't, we want them to know that we're not bashing the church.
No,
We're just having an open discussion, giving our perspective, our viewpoint, our opinions, the same as we would have at any time, really. So, um, but with that, why don't y'all tell me? I want the people to know that there were some good things about the church that we enjoyed. So, can somebody tell me something good that y'all enjoyed about church, about the church? Ain't nobody rushing to
I
jump
like,
in.
okay, I like back, like you said, back in the day when we had the
Wait a
one
minute,
bishop
start
who.
over. Say it again.
I liked, like back in the day when we had the one bishop that was there and stuff. I was young and stuff, and he would close service down, send us to other churches that we would go visit and stuff. And we visited a lot of different churches. It was like a community and stuff, and in return they would come and visit our church, with the HOJ and stuff.
Right.
And the HOJ was known in the community. My one job, I was sitting at the nurse minute, other coworker was sitting at the nurse's station, and she said, "What church do you belong to?" And I told her, and she said, "I used to go over there." And I said, "Yeah, right." And she started giving honor. And I'm like, what? And so when I got off work, I went and asked Pop, and he was like, yeah, the whole family used to belong back in the day. So it did reach a lot of people, a lot of families and stuff that did come and everything. So I like that and stuff because we did, we were out there in the community. And I thought it was interesting when one of the bishops that we had in Minnesota said, it is something to be said when you have a building in a community and you know nothing about your community
Mm.
and they don't know anything about you.
Right. Right.
Mm.
What
And,
about you,
and we were
Nate?
Mm. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
what did you like? What do you like about the church?
well, me, it was a number of things. I like the fact that they taught me their understanding of the Bible. They didn't know they was teaching me the real understanding of it,
Mm-hmm.
but what they gave me, I was able to understand and see, basic instructions before leaving Earth. And the music and the energy that would be on a big day.
Yeah.
Because I would stand at the meeting and I would just watch how the energy would shift from one end of the building to the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I like that. Like I said, I still, even again, to reassure what you said, not bashing, not talking bad about it. But these are things that need to be spoken on and talked about if and addressed if they want to be better.
Right.
I mean, you carry the name the Supreme. Supreme means highest.
Mm-hmm.
So being supreme means there's a lot of responsibility there.
Right.
That means you got to step up, do what's right, regardless of how it make you feel
Mm-hmm.
and how it may make others feel, and be supreme. I mean, heavy's the head that bears the crown.
Yep. Exactly.
Well,
Son got us.
yeah. Oh, oh,
Go ahead.
I like the social aspect. You know, coming up, it was just so much fun. You look forward to going, and it seemed like there was always something going on as far as other missions coming to. It seemed like Pontiac was the place where everybody came, and all the young people were there. At a time there was just it's a small building, but it was full of young folks.
Yeah.
And like Nate said, there was a lot of energy, a lot of good, and you could feel that. So
Yes.
yeah, and then
Wait a minute.
the
Can you
social,
say that again? Because you broke up.
the culture, I guess you might say, the social aspect.
Right.
I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting different ones or being friends. I didn't have like close friends, but I would say now, I may have three or four good friends, or
Mm-hmm.
Ray, of course,
Right.
and that in church. But yeah, the social aspect, just the gatherings, and whenever you can get a conversation in with someone or whatever. But yeah, the social and the music.
Well, I'm glad that y'all had some good experiences
Oh
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did too. And this is something that I've said from the beginning, and I'm going to repeat it now, that I had nothing against the house Jacob. I have nothing against the house Jacob. Nobody ever hurt me in the church because, I've had some people to say they think I've been church hurt. They think that somebody done something to me. They just so assured that something had to happen to me, but it didn't. Nothing happened to me. I had a great experience in the church. The only thing was I just never believed in the God or Jesus or none of the doctrine because, it just wasn't believable to me, and like I said in many videos, once I did my research and studied and learned the history of it all, then, nah, I wasn't down with it. But I'm saying again, nobody hurt me. Nobody did me wrong. I never had any conflicts with anybody really that would make me feel negatively about the church. It's just I'm only sharing my experience. And I think
Yeah.
that everybody on this panel is just sharing from their perspective, from their experiences. So that's what I want to make sure people understand. Nobody's bashing. Now, to be honest with you, let me say this too. Now, I have had conversations, and I know some of y'all done had conversations where people were bashing. I mean,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's their right. I
That's
mean,
they
if
right.
that's the
That's
way
they
they
right.
felt, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because you can't tell a person how to feel about a certain thing, you know,
No.
Mhm.
if that's the way they felt, that's their right. They had every right to
Yeah.
feel whatever way they felt, and they have every right to express what those feelings, how those feelings feel.
Yeah, I think the fact that when you express your opinion or you have the conversations out loud, they look at that as church bashing. I,
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
yeah,
and I just want to say this. I may have had issues and problems, but I don't dislike them people or hate them, and I don't speak bad about it because guess what? They made me into what I am today.
Mm,
And I appreciate that, because if they hadn't have done what they did, I wouldn't be the man I am today. So I have nothing against none of them there. It's just, it is what it is.
yeah,
And they got to understand,
yeah.
in order for things to get better, this stuff got to be aired out. If you don't air it out, it don't get no better.
Yeah, and I got some
Yeah.
thoughts on that one too.
You
And
got
and,
some
and you
thoughts
know,
on that? Well,
what you were saying about some have, yeah, I've talked to people
uh,
who, and again, they had their experience was different, and it is some, I'm not gonna call them bitter, but they felt like they weren't heard and stuff, or what I'm saying, and stuff.
Yeah.
And well, I ain't even gonna say they was bashing it. And no, I'm not gonna say that. I mean, they were angry. They have a right to be
Yeah.
angry. They have a,
yeah.
sometimes you gotta sit in those feelings, and stuff. And then but they always talk about go around. No, sometimes you gotta go right through, you know what I'm saying? And stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna say that they was bashing it. They were angry.
Yes.
They had things happen to them, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's their
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, I ain't gonna hold y'all no longer. I'm gonna ask this last question so we can end it, because we've been on here almost an hour and a half or more.
Oh,
So I'm gonna ask y'all the question that we ended up with the last time. Now, because the people wanted to know, was there anything that the church could do that make y'all want to come back and be a full-fledged active member? I mean, what are the conditions that y'all require?
Well. Okay, let me go first. Get mine off the way. Since I'm retired on a fixed income, and like I said, it looks different now. So my full-fledged attendance don't happen every Sunday.
All right.
Getting involved, I've done that. No, as the young people, yeah, let them do their thing now,
Mhm.
So, but to come back and say I'm going to go to church every single Sunday, gas high, and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not hearing nothing. If there was actually some bona fide teaching going on, if I'm not hearing some good bona fide teaching where somebody has taken the time to study,
Mhm.
that might, if they're doing that, I might go at least. But if I'm not hearing anything, it's getting cold now, so I might go into hibernation.
Nate, they need you in Omaha, brother.
leave me in Omaha.
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
know how, but that's a long ways for you, ain't it?
yeah. How far is that for you?
8 hours.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Ah,
well, I
no.
guess not then. I guess you
No,
won't be
I
going.
told him. I told him I will be stopping
Not
in, but
unless they paying your flight up there and back.
but for me,
Nate. Uh-huh.
it. I know y'all watched Batman, the first one,
Yeah,
where the Joker said, "This town needs an enema.
an enema.
It needs a cleansing." Because I don't do that favoritism. I don't do that. I don't do politics. Politics and religion should not be together.
Mm,
Yeah.
If you gonna represent the greatest church, as you say, now as you say on earth,
mm,
I'm like the Ghetto Boys. Action speaks louder than words.
yeah.
Don't sing it, bring it.
Hmm.
Mm.
And
All
maybe I'll
right.
stop in, because see, I done walked the path,
Hmm.
and I done walked on both sides.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you right now, both sides playing the same game.
Mm.
Mm,
It's just on one side. It's just on one side. This is what y'all taught this side was doing. And
right.
the other side, y'all teaching the other side wrong, but you doing the same thing they doing. So
Hmm.
you got to show me,
Yeah.
because I'm not, no. And if I go back to church now, they probably kick me out anyway if they ask me to say something.
They might kick me out too.
But we can leave out together then, Henny.
I ain't biting my tongue no more. I'm just not gonna.
No.
Zalika, I know you said you ain't a member. We know this, but the people wanted to know, you know, what could, you know, what could be offered to bring you back home?
You know what? Again, seriously, I'm like you. I don't have anything against the HOJ. I said this once before. I can't think of anybody in there that I just flat out dislike. But I don't want to put my name on anybody's role and stuff. I enjoy my freedom, if you will, which I've always had it and stuff, you know, but to not have to feel that I have to, you know what I'm saying, be somewhere every Sunday and stuff, you know, and then I get up and I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? So I enjoy just being a freelance. I could go visit somebody else's church, you know, and stuff. So I'm enjoying that, you know.
Right. So you just good. I mean, you know.
I am. But again, I'm not knocking nobody else. You know what I'm saying? But I'm good. I'm good.
Right. Well, y'all, was you gonna say something?
Huh?
What was you gonna say?
No, I was gonna tell them, man. The only thing and the last thing I can say is what my church say. We gotta rise above it all.
Yeah.
And ours and everybody else's shit. That's what has to happen.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
We have to rise above it all or drown in ours and everybody else's shit.
Ours and everybody else's, huh? Yeah, that's true. Well, y'all, I really enjoyed it once again. And hey,
yes,
we gonna do it again. You know, just gotta I hope we can get Charles again, you know, and I hope he gets well. So, but we gonna wrap it up for now. But don't y'all go away. Don't y'all go nowhere. So I just want to thank y'all once again for participating, and I look forward to the next time. And until that next time, y'all have a good night.
Do the same.
Good night, everybody. All right.
Well, that's all for now. So until next time, y'all take care.